Hey guys, my name is Frank Dorff and welcome to another episode of Digital Classroom. Today we're going to take a look at this shot and how did I create this one? Now, during the workshops, we always love to work with lighting, but one of the most interesting things about lighting is, of course, shadows. And shadows can be absolutely a mood breaker, but also a mood maker. The shadows are the most important thing in a photo to connect your model with the backdrop, but also to create interesting shots. Now, today we are going to take a little bit of a twist on the theme of shadows. We're going to use a so-called Gobo projector. In my case, I'm using the Westcott Lindsay Adler projector. Now, Gobo Projector is an awesome device. What you actually do is you use a little discs with patterns, you put them in between your light source and the lens, and you can focus those patterns on your backdrop or on your subject. Now, in this case, we're using just simple lines on our model Felisa. Now, we created a backdrop from our click backdrops with one side a nice old wall and one side a more like a rustic and a little bit of a rust backdrop. I love that combination. Now, of course, we want to make sure that our model jumps out, and that's why we use smoke. Smoke is awesome in these kinds of shots because one, it smears out the light, but it also gives you a much better way to see those patterns from your Gobo projector. So when you're using a Gobo projector, I highly recommend using a smoke machine. Now in this case, I'm using one blue gel from the back on the set and one Gobo projector on our model Felisa. And as you can see here, the red of her dress really jumps out, and it's a pretty simple lighting setup. The thing that you have to make sure of is that the face of your model is of course properly lit. Now with these Gobo projectors, there are a few things you have to take into account. The first thing is they love to eat your light. In other words, make sure you use a powerful strobe. But also the lens that you use. As mentioned before, you place the metal pattern in between your light source and your lens. And that means Gobo projector is slightly different from another light shaper. With another light shaper, you just use your strobe and you put your light shaper in front. With a Gobo projector, you do something completely different. You use your light source and then you place your metal pattern in between your light source and a lens. And that's the trick. Now, if you want more light out of a Gobo projector, it's very simple. Use a lens with a wider aperture. So in other words, if you use a 5.6 lens, you will lose a lot of light. But if you use a 1.2 lens, you will get a lot of light. And the nice thing about the Gobo projector is, of course, you don't need that shallow depth of field or that more infinity depth of field. It just works with your aperture wide open. Now, by using the focus on the lens, you can literally make the pattern sharper or softer. In this case, we slightly defocused it because I still want to see the lines, but I don't want it too sharp. So choosing the lens on the Gobo projector for speed or the maximum aperture is important, but also, of course, what kind of lens do you use? If you use a 135mm lens, everything will be focused on a small area of your set or your model. In this case, we want to spread everything out over the complete set. So in this case, I'm using a 50mm lens. If you want to cover even more space, you probably already guessed it, you use a 24mm. Now, the nice thing about Gobo projectors, of course, is also that the quality of the lens isn't that important. So if you're on a budget, you can literally buy a converter for M42 to Canon and use those old funky M42 lenses on your Gobo projector. It's a very versatile device and it creates awesome images. Now in this case, as mentioned, I'm using it on my model, and that brings another problem into the equation. Because how do I make sure that there are no nasty shadows on our model's face? Well, on one side you can say, hey, that looks nice. On the other side, you don't want those shadows on your model's face. So use your modeling lights, make sure your model is properly positioned, and then take your shot and make sure you shoot tethered so you can check it on your monitor. In all honesty, it happens a lot that you take pictures, you think it's okay, and then you open them up in Photoshop and you see that nasty shadow line just over the eyes and you go like, why didn't I see that? Well, because you can't see it on your small display. You could have seen it if you shoot tethered on a big display. Hey, enough talk about this setup. Let's take a look at the behind the scenes video about how we shot these images. And as you can see, the Gobo projector gives you a lot of creativity in your studio. You can use it as your backdrop and you can use it as your main light. You can even use a fill-in light, whatever you want to do to make it more interesting. Now, if you have any questions about this setup or the Lindsay Adler projector, make sure to reach out on social media. If you like what we do, subscribe to our channel, leave comments below, smash the like button, but most of all, also hit the bell notification button and tell other people about our channel so we can grow. See you again next time. Bye, guys.